Hey guys, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrials.guru. Send your questions coming in, and shout out to the first ever Meerkat. Get that on there, Rami. First ever Meerkat live behind the scenes clinical trial guru interview. For those who don't know, Meerkat is an app. You put it on your phone or your tablet, and you can actually live stream. So it reminds me a lot of Ustream back in 2008, but I think it has a lot of applications, not so much for clinical research. Maybe it does. I don't know. If you do what I do, like you try to promote yourself, promote your brand, then yes. If you follow my recommendations and do those hyper-local content, that hyper-local content and those type of stories, like for your research clinic to get more study participants for, that would help as well. But I'm especially excited for real estate. For those of you watching who are also interested in real estate, I think you can do a lot like live stream an open house, live stream a presentation of a property. There's all kinds of stuff. And for clinical research, I mean, for my purposes, I'm going to use this. So for those who don't follow me on Twitter, go on Twitter, because each time I go live, it's going to tweet. So you can see, it's kind of cool to see the behind the scenes stuff. So anyways, keep your questions coming in. It's Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Make sure you subscribe. So today's question says, "Hey Dan, I'm working on a project. We have a patented, it's a patented product. I don't want to give it away. It's a product that will be useful in the adherence and compliance of certain medications. So I'm doing some research on clinical trials and CROs. Seems many places I've looked, you have come up. There's a reason for that, Meerkat being one example of why, okay? But thank you. So I found data saying that certain CROs have their trials listed on clinicaltrials.gov. Is there a helpful source website that you might be able to direct me to? Do you know how I can find the leaders in this area?" So yes, and you're kind of on the right track already. So there's no website for that necessarily, but you're on clinicaltrials.gov. That is your place. I'm actually working with a developer right now as we speak. He is using their open API. And for those of you who don't know, API is just like the code that clinicaltrials.gov uses. So all the data there is like considered public knowledge. And it's there. The purpose of clinicaltrials.gov is to help study participants find trials, or help physicians find trials for their study participants. But there's a lot of B2B applications there. That's why on one of my intros I love that quote that clinicaltrials.gov is basically free money, because it is. So what I would do is, you're looking for a CRO. You want to spend some money on this project. First of all, I have a CRO, so call me up, 949-415-6256. We can at least discuss whether this is something I can do or help you with. But if not, here's what I would do. Go on clinicaltrials.gov, type in the indication that your product is supposed to work for, or whatever issue it's supposed to solve. Type in the indication. So if it's hypertension, you want to type in hypertension, and then you want to look at the results. And you want to put the US, because I'm assuming you're in the US. Now, you'll notice a difference here. You don't need to use any other filters, okay? You don't care if it's an open study, an enrolling study, a study that has ended. You don't really care about that. As opposed to a research clinic, someone like me who's looking for studies to participate in, I care. I only want to see open studies and studies that have not yet begun recruiting. Okay, but you can put all of them down there as long as it's US. And then start mapping out the CROs that come up. Every single CRO, if there is a CRO involved with that trial, is going to come up. So if you start noticing that Quintiles keeps coming up, or PPD keeps coming up, or the Clinical Trials Guru keeps coming up, or whatever it might be, and that's not my CRO name. But anyways, if you see a certain CRO's name keep popping up over and over and over again for your therapeutic indication, guess what? You found the market leader for your indication. And you'll probably find a dozen or more CROs for your particular indication. Even though I don't know the specifics, but that's why I'm encouraging you to give me a call. But find them and then approach them. And if you need help with this, I can do it too. I feel like I'm selling my services a lot, but I'm in a good mood. I've been in a hustling mood lately. I literally have 0 blank space on my calendar. But yeah, map out the big CROs, map out the market leaders, and then approach them. And if they're not willing to work with you, I will, okay? Keep your questions coming in. It's dan@theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Basically, in a nutshell, clinicaltrials.gov is free money. Clinicaltrials.gov, while it's not meant to be a B2B tool, is the absolute best B2B tool in our industry, and that's business to business. So business to business type businesses, like most of us, okay? Whether you're a vendor in this space, whether you're a CRO, whether you're a research clinic, whether you are a patient recruitment firm, whatever it may be, clinicaltrials.gov is the best, and it's free. It just takes some work and some navigating the waters, okay? Keep your questions coming in, dan@theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I love them, and thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, and thank you, Meerkat, too. I love you guys. First ever, all right, and we already had how many? 5 people on there? Okay, so good. We're off to a good start. Follow me on Twitter. Meerkat is going to be huge in 2015. Take care.